Hi, I'm Annie. Happy Thanksgiving. Today I'm going to talk about the power of gratitude. And I think I talked about this in a video about a year ago because what else are you going to talk about on Thanksgiving? But also, I've been practicing gratitude for a whole other year, and it's really sinking into me more and more just how powerful it is. It's an incredibly powerful practice, and I'm grateful for gratitude because it has really changed my life. So in January of 2018, I started writing in a digital bullet journal, and it's really formulaic. Every day I write what my best day would look like, what kinds of things I'm going to do, what kinds of attitudes I would like to have throughout the day. Then I list all the things I'm grateful for. Then I list powerful questions. And then if I have any really interesting, juicy ideas that I'm thinking about, I'll, write down the ideas that I'm excited about. So by the way, just to give you an example of a powerful question, it would be something like, how amazing will I feel when I notice that I'm fitter and stronger every day? Because when you ask yourself a question, your brain wants to answer it. So when you ask, how amazing will it be when I notice that I'm fitter, then, that's a subconscious seed that you've planted, and your brain will show you what it feels like to be fitter. And that will influence the choices that you make throughout the day. It's really simple. Your brain is like a loyal dog that wants to fetch whatever you suggest to it. So suggest that you're fitter and healthier every day, and you'll start to notice that. You'll start to make healthier choices. You'll start to appreciate your own fitness and put more care into it. It's really simple. So anyway, those are the topics that I talk about every day in my journal. Very, very formulaic. So I've been practicing daily gratitude pretty much every day for the last couple of years. And when I started the gratitude journal, I kind of thought it was bullshit. I'm traditionally a pretty pessimistic, miserable kind of person, hence the title channel name, Miserable Cow. But I just did it anyway because people always say how wonderful gratitude is. So I thought, I better do it consistently and really give it a chance so that I can decide for myself if it's worth a damn or not. And at first it was kind of hard because anytime you think something's bullshit, it's probably going to be hard. But it got easier and easier as time went on. It also became something that I started to look forward to, and it also just became automatic. Because I knew that every day when I wrote in my journal again, I was going to have to come up with something to be grateful for. And so my brain was looking for those things all day long. I just started looking for the good things all day long. Prior to keeping a gratitude journal, I was pretty much just noticing all the shitty things. Life is shitty. Life is hard. Life isn't fair. Life is bullshit. Those were the things that my brain was noticing. Now my brain notices the good things. I notice a lot of good things. Good, beautiful, wonderful things that I'm grateful for every day. And it's really a habit. Gratitude is a habit. Pessimism is a habit. It's that simple. And really, which one feels better? Does it feel better to have the habit of pessimism, or does it feel better to have the habit of gratitude? I feel a lot better as a grateful person. So this habit of daily gratitude journaling is really saving my ass right now, because I had about a year of solid practice before 2020 hit, and things went kind of sideways. And I think that because I had this practice under my belt, 2020 was a lot easier for me to handle. Now, 2020 is special. I don't want to imply in any way that you can just pray away the fucked up circumstances of 2020, because it's a really shitty year. It's been shitty for a lot of people. There's a lot of suffering and a lot of hardship. But in my case, I think if all of my life circumstances were exactly the same, but I hadn't done this practice of gratitude, then I wouldn't even be making this video right now. I would probably just be so miserable. I would have, gone on another downward spiral of pessimism. Life is shitty. 2020 sucks. This is terrible. How am I supposed to survive? How am I supposed to get by? How am I going to make it to the future? What is the future going to look like? This is awful. Those are the kinds of things that I would have noticed, and the kinds of habitual thoughts that I would have had if I hadn't spent a year practicing gratitude. That year of practicing gratitude prepared me for the crazy bullshit of 2020. I'm handling it pretty well. Here are some things that I'm grateful for in 2020. There are a lot of them. I can't mention them all, but I'll mention a few. Okay, first of all, I've thought about this a lot. My partner. I am so grateful grateful to him for keeping me safe and keeping our dogs safe. We lost a dog this year in the spring, and we also got a puppy, and he keeps us safe. So I think he's a double observer. I don't really know his type. I'm kind of maybe figuring it out slowly over time. But he's very rational and analytical, and his calm, rational perspective keeps me grounded. He knew that the pandemic was coming, and he prepared us for it. And I am so, so grateful that he prepared me psychologically for what was coming. He not only prepared us physically, but very, very importantly, gently and calmly prepared me for what was coming. He knows that I can be anxious, and I think he was a little nervous about how I would react to the bizarre and difficult circumstances of a global pandemic. So he started following the news of the virus back in December, all the stuff that was happening in China, and he talked about it a lot. He started to feel like it was probably going to be a pandemic, similar to what we had 100 years ago, the Spanish flu. In January, he started to talk about it a little bit more. He also started to gather supplies. He spent all the money that he had saved up to pay his income taxes, and he spent it all on food. So he filled up this big chest freezer that we had, bought some extra toilet paper. He bought enough dog food for about 9 months, and he bought a year's worth of coffee, which I'm really grateful for. We roast our own coffee. Well, he roasts it. I guess I shouldn't say we. He does all the hard work. And it was sort of unclear what was going to happen to, global supplies of everything. Would some regions be hit so hard that there wouldn't be any coffee? We don't know what's going to happen to the supply chain. So he bought a year's worth of coffee. And that makes him a hero. So he was so prepared that by the time things got weird in the grocery stores and people were buying all the toilet paper and the rice and the beans, we just had everything we needed. We didn't need to go out and get stuff. Our governor told us to shut down, stay at home, and we already had everything we needed, and we stayed home. And he also just let me know that it was coming for my business. At that time, I had a massage therapy office downtown, and he really just very gently let me know that things could change and there could be a shutdown. And, I would ask him, really? Are we really going to get shut down? Because it seems so weird. That had never happened, in my life. Well, obviously, this. It happened to you too. But he said, yes, really, it's likely that we're going to have a shutdown. And then when we were shut down, it was for a couple of weeks. And a lot of people thought maybe this is just going to go away. But he said, it's a global pandemic. I don't think it's going to be over in a couple of weeks. I think this is a long haul kind of thing. So we need to, be careful about our spending, make wise decisions. All that stuff he did to prepare me, I'm so, so grateful for, because it made it very, very easy for me to make difficult decisions in my business, because I'd already been thinking about it for 4 to 6 weeks. Maybe I'll give up my office. What could I do instead? I was already sort of brainstorming how I could transition, how I could pivot, and it really just put me at ease so that I was able to make those decisions. And I leaned into Etsy a little bit more. I have an Etsy store, and I thought that's something I can do from home. And then people needed masks, and so it was crazy. I worked really, really hard. I'm still working hard on Etsy. It's not as intense as it was in April and May, but I'm still selling masks. People need them, and it's helping me get by. I think I opened up my Etsy store in 2018. Every year that's gone by, I've made more and more money on Etsy. But I've often wondered, what would it take to go full time with Etsy? What would it take to make it like a really decent supplement, like a sizable supplement to my existing massage therapy practice? And I guess I found out that the answer is a global pandemic. That's surprising. So I've sold a lot of masks, but because there's more activity in my shop, I've also sold more and more of my ceramic work, which is what I really enjoy doing. But I also don't mind making masks. I listen to audiobooks and lectures. I listen to the objective personality classes all day long while I'm making masks. Not a bad way to pass the time. So in the beginning of 2019, January, February, March, I made a total of $70 on Etsy. And now in December, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I will surpass 10,000 just within the next couple days. It's like any minute now, I'm gonna surpass 10,000. And that amazes me. And that's not much. I can't live off of $10,000 a year, but it's saving me right now. It is an amazing supplement to my massage therapy practice. So I'm seeing massage therapy clients here in my art studio. They think it's charming, they say. I mean, it's not ideal, but I keep it really cleaned up when people are coming over, and it looks nicer on the massage side. side, very professional, and I'm able to keep everything really clean. I'm being super careful with my massage clients. I'm only seeing like 3 to 5 a week, maybe 6 at the very most on some weeks, and only 1 per day. And I'm only seeing my existing clients. I'm not taking new clients right now. So I'm able to work with very, very few people and also survive and pay all my bills because I have this really amazing supplement from Etsy. And I just enjoy the lifestyle. I mean, it's amazing to wake up in the morning and put on my running shoes, and I've got a backpack. I put all the Etsy orders in my backpack, and me and my dog will walk or run to the post office. That's just so fun. It's just a nice lifestyle. And then come back, maybe do some messaging, and then just work on crafts all day. Learn, listening to audio, just learning new things. It's really a great life. So there are a lot of recurring themes in my gratitude journal, things that show up over and over again. My dog, Cedar, makes it almost every day. I just am grateful for him and grateful that we have time together. And we also got a new puppy back in the spring, and I'm getting to know her. She is really a daddy's girl. She prefers my partner, but we're getting to know each other, and I just feel so grateful when she cuddles with me. Sometimes in the evening she'll cuddle with me a little bit, and it's just really sweet. Just, grateful for dogs, grateful for all the dogs I've had, and just special relationships with animals. And surprising gifts of 2020. Earlier in the summer, a few people asked me, just out of the blue, it was so weird how it was clustered just around, a 4-week period, when a few people asked me if I would do one-on-one video conversations with them just to talk out topics that they're dealing with. Most of the people that I've talked to, it's issues surrounding being self-employed or being disciplined or organized. I think they were all self-employed people though. And that's something I have a lot of experience with because I've been self-employed for most of my life. Some of those meetings were just, a one-off, like talk through an issue one time, but there's another person that I've been meeting with regularly since then, and it's just so cool. Like for a while I've been thinking that I want to move in that direction. I want to think about how can I have meaningful conversations and give to other people using my listening skills, my perceptiveness, intuition, listening and conversation. It's just something that I've felt drawn to. I help people in my massage therapy practice, and sometimes there's conversation involved, and I've really enjoyed that over the years. A lot of times it's just silence, which, is another kind of helping, but I've wanted to communicate more verbally with people one-on-one. And it's just so amazing to me that just randomly these people asked me for that, and I was able to practice it and give it a try, and that's just super cool. I'm learning so much from it, hopefully getting better at it, with experience. Yeah, and it's just magical. It's like this thing that I kind of wanted some experience in and, wasn't really sure how to move in that direction, and then 2020 was just like, oh, here you go for it. It's been a great year. Another thing that comes up over and over again in my gratitude journal that surprises me a little bit is objective personality. I find myself writing that in the journal a lot. I'm grateful for objective personality for the class and for the community online. I'm in a Facebook group. There are a few Facebook groups out there, but I think the one I'm in the most is, I think it's called Unofficial Objective Personality Class Members, something like that. And it's just so amazing to meet with people that are interested in the same topic. And the conversations that are happening there are just really substantive. It's curious people that are interested in growth and interested in learning. It's just a really amazing group. And as far as the classes, I guess I've been in the objective personality class for maybe a year and a half or over a year and a half, and I'm not good at typing, but I haven't really applied myself in terms of like playing the typing game, watching the videos and trying to type beforehand and then, looking at the typing result. But I do watch every class and every video that comes out. And what I'm more interested in is the self-growth videos. I've just gotten so much out of that. And I think there will be a time in my life, maybe when I have more time, that I can practice playing that typing game more. I just kind of, ENFP have like too many projects right now. I just do too many things. So that doesn't like fit. I'm already doing so much. But I think there will be a time in my life when I will really practice that and maybe get better at it. But it seeps in. Even though I haven't really applied myself, it just seeps in. You start to notice things just in everyday regular conversations. You might think like, oh, I am speaking with masculine NE right now. That's really good to know, because when you're speaking to masculine NE, it's like there are all these metaphors and you kind of have to step inside of them. They're very atmospheric, and you just have to like look through the layers and step inside the metaphor in order to figure out what the ST is that they're talking about. And I have any, but it's just not masculine. One of the people that I'm talking with on the video chat is masculine NE, and it's just been so interesting to get better and better over time at understanding what they mean when they speak. And, you know, talking with other people, just seeing like, oh, this is a sleep last problem, or this is a consume last problem. You just can identify that, and it's just really helpful to ask the right questions of the person to kind of draw them out and get them to explore that a little bit more. And I don't, you know, no need to use OP terminology, but, you know, you can just sort of like identify its consume last and, you know, talk around it without using the terminology that, you know, all us OP followers probably geek out on and nobody else knows what the heck we're talking about. So I'm grateful that 2020 has been such a good year, and that it kind of is compatible with me, and it kind of is compatible with my lifestyle and my personality. At the same time, I know that it is not that for so many people, and I really feel for people that are struggling for all kinds of reasons. You know, horrible things have happened, and then also just slightly uncomfortable things, like, you know, really extroverted people not being able to be with other people and collaborate with other people in ways that they would love to, or people not being able to do things that they were way excited to do in 2020 and they just couldn't. But for me and for my partner, the quarantine lifestyle just is kind of what we were already doing a little bit. So we never went out to eat before the pandemic, and we still don't go out to eat, and it's not a big deal. We make all our meals. Well, my partner, he's the cook mostly. So 2020 has allowed both of us to do more of what we enjoy. And for me, it kind of took away all the bullshit that wasn't working and just left the good things. So I'm doing more of what I enjoy, less of the stuff that was just draining the life out of me. I'm finding a way to make a living without hustling so hard with the massage stuff. I'm not doing any advertising. I had been doing all this Facebook advertising, like trying to make enough money to support my downtown office. It just really felt like bullshit to me. Like my FI was not in alignment with this stupid, douchey Facebook advertising that I was doing. I just really hated everything about it, even though it worked. It doesn't matter that it works, because it was just annoying. And during 2020, I've learned really who my very loyal clients are, and there's no bullshit there. I don't need to advertise to my most loyal clients, and they show up, because after several months of nobody in Oregon being able to get a massage, they're so desperate for massage that they will not no-show. They really respect that this is a big deal. A lot of care and effort has to go into me keeping the environment safe, and every interaction that you have with someone is potentially risky, and so they just treat the relationship more respectfully, where maybe in the past they might have taken it for granted a little bit, or might have thought it was no big deal to no-show, you know, those kinds of things. So it's just been really great. I feel closer than ever to the clients that I'm seeing on a regular basis, because those are my core clients. Those are, you know, the clients that are more like family, and that feels really good. And also this channel, deciding to start this channel a couple years ago, I didn't really know why I was starting it. I still don't have like an agenda, really. It's just processing. It's me processing what I'm learning and integrating, and then speaking it back out at the people. That's just helpful in itself. It's just helped me grow. I feel more stable, less anxious. I'm thinking about making healthier choices, and making healthier choices all the time, because you know, that's what the channel is about. It's called Miserable Cow because I have been such a miserable cow in my life, and I reached a point where I thought, I don't want to do that anymore because it doesn't feel good. And so it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of title for the channel, but it's about moving beyond that. And I think that making these videos has helped me do that, just to keep this stuff fresh in my mind and keep my eye on the goal, that the goal is growth. The goal is dealing with shadow functions and dealing with difficult things and growing beyond it. And making these little reports about what I'm learning just kind of keeps me on track. And also, especially in the last 6 months, I've just had really meaningful connections with people one-on-one that I've met through this channel. And that's just been so amazing. Just really good conversations with people privately that I've met through the channel. So, in conclusion, happy Thanksgiving. I hope y'all have a good day and eat all the things and enjoy life and feel grateful.